Welcome to Beyond Broken Hungry. Juggling your career, relationships, nutrition, fitness, finance, try to pursue your dreams, and stay sane can be a bit of a struggle. With the help of expertise from a variety of wellness experts and tips and tricks from everyday people, this podcast is here to share it all to make this journey we call life just a little more balanced. I'm stumbling towards wellness right alongside you, and I'm so happy to have you come along this journey. With that in mind, let's jump into this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. I am your host, Dara Sweat, and I'm going to keep this episode short and sweet. If you watch on YouTube, you will see I am not doing a video. I'm battling a little bit of a cold, I think. I think one might be coming, so I'm just trying to keep my energy and my efforts to a little bit more of a minimum. And I am just feeling like absolute trash after getting assaulted by the assault bike today in my workout. So just my voice today. Hope that's okay. For my podcasters, you probably don't care because you never see my face anyway, unless you're on the social medias. But anyway, I want to give some tidbits and nuggets of love and encouragement while the world still buzzes about what diet pill you should take or what new fruit you should put up your butt to lose 10 pounds in a week. I want you to just take a minute. I want you to think. I want you to breathe. I want you to stop digesting all of this bullshit that is out there. For those of you who are on Instagram, I shared this on my personal page and on the podcast page. I was literally in the car coming back from a workout this week, actually. And what do you know? There is a new diet pill out there that is prescription only, that is safe and effective and will help you lose 20 or more pounds per month. Oh my God. Yeah, no, we're not falling for that. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. I mean, I used to be the fad diet person, okay? I used to take Hydroxycut when I was in middle school and in high school. My mom had me on the South Beach diet when I was in 4th grade. That's another podcast episode. But, you know, I mean, I've done it all too. I wanted the quick fixes. I wanted something that was going to happen fast. I wanted to lose all this weight. I wanted to do all of these things. And I just realized that that's not sustainable because every time I would lose all this weight so quickly, guess what would happen? It would come right back. So in order to change our lives for the long term, whatever that looks like for you, we need to do things one step, one habit at a time. Okay, so if working out more or switching up your routine is your goal, change one or two things until you get comfortable and then add the other. So maybe you want to do a little bit of extra mobility. That's something you really want to work on. You want to stretch a little bit more, stuff like that. Okay, well, just pick one day. Pick one day where you can add that into your routine, where you do something extra outside of like what you're already doing. Now, if you're just gonna do it while you're at the gym, okay, cool, awesome. But if it's like a whole, like you need to like leave the gym and then go back to the gym or leave the gym and then this is something that you wanna do like in your garage, like later that evening or whatever, just pick one day, see how that feels, get a feel for it, do it for a couple weeks and then add another day and so on and so on and so on. If your goal is, to start eating better, okay, start with drinking more water. Adding more veggies. Pick one. Pick both. Both are pretty easy. We always need to drink. We need to hydrate, right? But if eating better is your goal, just start with those little things. Even just adding veggies. You would be surprised at how many nutrition clients that Graham Strength and Conditioning has that within the first 2 months, 1 month, 2 months of their nutrition journey, how much body fat they lose. And all that they did was added more vegetables to their diet. Or all that they did was they were tracking their water and they were drinking more water. It is incredible to me how much that can change you. Okay? So just think about that way. If you want to spend more time with your family or your friends, make one day a month a priority and then add more as the year goes on and your schedule allows. You know, we got a lot going on. There's a lot of things that we need to be doing, but if you want to be getting dinner with your girlfriends, just try to get everybody together 1 month. I know that that's hard, especially if you're like me and you have a lot of like different friend groups and things. But, just pick that one day and do that, because you're only one person. You can only do so many things. You can only be in so many places at once. And it comes to your family. Now, if you live close to your family, that could be a different story. That could look a little different. But if your family lives out of town or in a different state or something like that, maybe pick a quarterly or whatever. Just don't worry about trying to put all of this stuff on a calendar at the same time. If you want to wake up earlier, start with going to bed 5 minutes earlier at a time. Just 5 minutes at a time. Like if you normally are in bed by like 11, be in bed by 10:55. Do that every day for a week. The next week, be in bed by 10:50, so on and so on and so on. If you want to have less screen time, this is something that I'm kind of working on too. It's hard when you literally make a living on social media. That is kind of like my job description is social media. So I'm either looking at a computer screen or I'm going directly to my phone. So I'm kind of working on that myself, of really getting my screen time down. So I'm picking one day where I leave my phone literally in the other room. And then I'm just going to gradually add more and more to that until it just becomes a habit that when I'm going to bed, I don't even bring my phone in the room. So that's something that we can work on too. The problem we have sometimes is that we try to do too much at once, right? We do that. I do that. Oh my God, all the time. Something that I'm constantly working on too. We just want to change it all, make it happen overnight. Just to snap our fingers and boom, all of a sudden we're going to have this aesthetically pleasing house and awesome routine that we nail every single day. I've got a pretty great routine morning and night, but I still have those days where it doesn't really go exactly how I would like it. But we got to take this one thing at a time, right? Doing all of it all at once is not sustainable. I'm going to give you some stats, some numbers for you guys to think about. So there's a greater than 80% success rate to those who follow one habit at a time. What? That's almost 100%. Just by doing one thing. That's awesome. Those who focus on two, guess what? Already drops to 30% success rate. Wow. 80 to 30. That's 50% difference. Right? I feel like that's right, because 30 plus 50 is 80. Y'all know I'm not good at math. Anywho, when you focus on 3 at a time, oh, that's even more, baby. You're less than 5%. Woo! So, okay, now you're probably like, well, I have habits in all of these different areas that I want to change. So and I need to focus on one habit altogether. Yeah, pick one thing, just one. And that's not like, oh, just pick one thing and that's the thing you do for the rest of the year. Pick one thing, do that for a week or two, and see how it's working for you. Like make that get that data of like, okay, is me doing this really flowing? Is it jiving? Is it working for me? And is this something that's, and I don't like to use the word easy, but is this something that is sustainable for me to just continue doing? So once you kind of nail it, and you're going to do that, even if you're doing this for 5 years and you nail it, there's going to be days where where it just doesn't work out. So don't worry about making it happen 100% of the time, but get to a point where it just kind of becomes part of you. You just automatically add more vegetables to your food. You automatically are drinking more water. You automatically leave your phone in your room, and it's not even something that crosses your mind. It just starts to happen. That's when you can be like, okay, next thing, and then go on from there. It's so easy and tempting when you're super motivated and you want to try and do all the things, but we can't do that. It's not sustainable. Just try to focus on one thing at a time. Habits-based everything, okay? I'm going to leave y'all with this. If you have not read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, I highly recommend it. I am a big Audible listener. I listen to audiobooks a lot, so I did listen to it, and it was amazing. I honestly want to buy the physical copy so I can read it again and make notes. So I highly recommend it. So I'm going to leave you with this. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, he says, you do not rise to the level of your goals. I'm going to repeat that. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Ooh, I got chills. I'm going to say it again. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Okay. Remember that motivation is awesome. It's awesome. It starts the fire, y'all. It gets you started. It gets you going. It puts gas in your engine. It's like vroom, vroom, let's go. But habits are what keep you going. It's those little things that you're doing every single day, whether it's one thing at a time and then you nail it and then you add some more, whatever. Those little habits that you're doing every single day is what's going to make a difference. So don't be so worried about making your life a completely different thing by February 1st because you have to make it all happen in January. Slow down, take a breath. What is sustainable for you? What is going to work in your lifestyle? If you are a nurse and you work overnights and you have 4 kids, your life is going to look a little bit different to someone who, A, doesn't have any children and works a desk job 9 to 5 and is able to go to the gym in the morning or the night and have like this sustainable routine. So you have to find what works for you, what works for your life. Make those little habits one step at a time. Motivation gets you going. It gets you started. It's awesome. But those habits are what keep you going. You got this, friend. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. If you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to Beyond Broken Hungry wherever you get your podcast so you can get notified every time a new episode drops. It would also mean the world to me if you rate, review, and share the podcast too so more people can join the BBH tribe. Follow this podcast on social media at Beyond Broken Hungry to interact and see how I'm stumbling toward wellness one day at a time. And most importantly, tune back in next week for another episode. See you then.